Oh dear.
But maybe I can come back or when she...
No, I'm coming. I'm going to Texas.
Oh, okay.
This summer, apparently, for the streamer house.
Okay.
And then we're doing a 2-week Camp Canute girls only.
2-week camp, girls only. Look at the chat. I know my existence is pretty damn putrid, but I sure as hell ain't spamming some female streamers chat with that stuff. Look at it going off. These three women's careers are fueled entirely on simp juice. Don't catch yourself doing it, lads.
I think that if you worked out, you would feel a lot more confident.
There's this thing bouncing around at the moment that male streamers have to do loads more. And I think there is some truth in that. iShow Speed is so good at making himself look stupid. He has put it to professional levels. You can't say that about these three.
Got a body of a goddess.
Jesus Christ, is it boring. Just capturing this. I could feel the rigor mortis kicking in. Not for you, it's for kids with credit cards. I am THQ. Welcome to my Wreckfest PS5 review. We always have a bit of fun with Wreckfest, don't we, Coop? This is the third time it's featured on the channel. We had PS4 Pro way back on launch. We also had PC last year, which I was extremely impressed with. Where are my performance toggles? One mode at 4K and 60 frames per second, apparently. Okay, it does stick to 60 frames, and the 4K I can't complain about, but there is something in this that I was very surprised at, considering this is a 9th generation video game. It took me ages to get my hands on a physical copy. It does sit on Game Pass, and it's probably going to come on PSN tomorrow because I put the money down. Only 15 British pounds pre-owned.
You have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch.
I am not asking for $10, just that you stick around. At the end of the video, we're going to be looking at the new Wreckfest 2 material. Rumour has it, it may have split screen. Why is Wreckfest still so good after all of these years? And how does it stay ahead of some of these brand new racing games? Stuff like Forza, stuff like Gran Turismo. Well, the answer is kind of plain as day. It's got an amazing destructive mechanic. And I played on the idea of Destruction Derby being the precursor to this game. And it kind of is in its own special way, I feel. Combine this Destruction mechanique with some really easy to get your head round controls. Now, one bit of advice is this game for some reason defaults onto easy, put it onto medium, of course, but dabble with the hard mode because it meddles with the ABS and the AI difficulty. It does change everything. But back to those controls, this feels burnout simple. There's no NOS. Unlocking those wheels, there's loads of dirt. The car is sliding all the time. Anybody who's a non-gamer that I show this to, they're always like, oh, you know, let me have a go on that. Let's have a go on that. I'm like, go away. Get your own PlayStation 5. What are you even doing in my house? Frickin' normies. If the sequel is out, you could invite them back for some split-screen local co-op. So you've got destruction, you've got easy controls. Now this leans into something else, the online versus, which I haven't covered in this video at all. There's loads of content for someone who doesn't want to stray into that area, but it's very addictive because you do not have to worry about clanging your opponent's bumper by a millimeter and sending them into a race-ending spin, which is basically what Gran Turismo is about. I don't mind that. The no contact 25 laps thing, asphalt, it does kind of get you after a while. It is nice to add a bit of spice. And it wouldn't be very spicy if that AI was not ruthlessly programmed. This is Codemasters good. Bearbug have done a brilliant job. They are dogged, they have vendettas, they drive like they're blind. It's just so good because they have to set up the crashes, they have to make things interesting. That brings me back to the difficulty. You need to find that perfect pitch where you are kind of in the pack all the time. Doing 2 to 3 laps at the end on your own is not fun despite the fact that you're in first place. It's all about that contact. I've just finished the review for Monster Hunter Wilds, or Monster Hunter Overcast, as I've started to call it. It's so great seeing these dawns, middays, vivid blues on the skies, fantastic greens, and it's all clattering past you with bits of bumper and engine mounts mixed in. But let's get to what I'd noticed. And it is only in very particular areas, and it is screen tear, and it does need VSync, and I'm very surprised it hasn't been patched considering the game's age. If you're in one of these derbies, in these courtyards, you know, these arenas, and there's loads of derelict fuselages around, it will start chugging massive slices in the middle of the screen, but it doesn't really happen on the courses when it's fully populated. But I have noticed it on some of the replay sections. Again, not game breaking, but a bit of a gripe seeing as I got rid of that over on the PC. There is also not as much wet weather and mud as I'd like to see, and I've got a feeling they're going to be pushing that engine for Wreckfest 2. And we don't have that much in-game gameplay, but I will show you at the end of the video what we do have, and it looks slick as hell. I don't know how they're going to split that screen. That might be a 9th generation only thing. And talking of generations, that rally game, that totally worked with a vertical split, and that's quite a thirsty video game. Which reminds me, I must have a sip of coffee and a biscuit.
Oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know, math is hard.
Din, 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 din. We could be here all day. How cool are the cars? I love this bootleg mimic of big brands. There's an XJS in there. There's some amazing silhouettes. I have spoken before about how cool that is, and I love the idea of them all getting smashed up and not being cosmetically precious. Combined with its randomness and that dogged AI coding, the game has got this like reroll system where it doesn't matter if you are the greatest driver on the planet and you take everything perfectly, you are going to get smashed into and ruined. Your pristine little lap is not going to work with this game. You've got to be thinking on your feet, and you've got to be watching for what's happening down the line, and the tension's amazing, particularly if there's a lot riding on getting that win. Just realised this might have actually been on PSN at one time as one of the 3 sort of monthly games, but I missed out on that, and I think it's definitely worth having physical. This is totally for the shelf. I'm just annoyed we're not going to see any more patches, because one more, just fixing that VSync situation would make this perfect. Now let's look at what we got on the sequel.
The following content is intended for immature audiences only.
There doesn't look to be vast engine differences. It certainly looks like more of the same, and there is obviously no mention of this split screen at all in either of these 2 trailers. Where did you get that rumour from, Coop? Don't worry about that at the moment. Apparently this is out on the 25th of March, and I did not see any screen tear in those trailers at all. And can you put in the comments if you played Wreckfest 1 on the PlayStation 5 Pro? Because I don't think there's been an official patch announced, but there may be some backward compatibility eliminating some of those graphical issues.
Come on! Move it! Get the f*** out of my way! God damn it, now what? Yeah, that's right. You Mess with the wrong guy, buddy.
On the split screen subject, and we can only hope with Wreckfest 2, I have a ARPG coming up, which is getting a bit of a renaissance at the moment, what with Diablo 4's new season coming out, so stay tuned for that. And of course, the online co-op material from Monster Hunter Wilds. I was Couch Coop. I will of course see you down there.
Out of the way! Stop driving like my grandma. She's 6 feet under. MOBE! Move it!